I know that there are, depending on the field that you go into, you can also go to like boot camps. There are actual places you can actually fly to, or they have online boot camps now too. Every Tuesday, Thursday from 8 to 4, or whatever it is, 5 days a week for 40 hours a week for 4 months, depending on what it is you want to learn. And you can just take a boot camp and then get certified after a month or 6 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever, however long the boot camp is.
Yeah, so boot camps are, I think boot camps are good for people that need a lot of structure. But I also think that if you're skeptical or you're highly leveraged to other debt, that's probably not a good idea for you, because oftentimes the boot camps are extremely expensive and they oftentimes are long days. A lot of boot camps are not structured around somebody who's already working. So if you have a job, that's probably not a good option for you. You're going to have to use your vacation time to go to that boot camp, and they're thousands of dollars. Sometimes they can be extremely expensive. From my experience of the developers that I work with too, and these certifications are not all development certifications. A lot of them are the soft skills around it, but a lot of developers will say that they wish they hadn't gone to boot camp and they had just taught themselves. And a lot of them say that it wasn't worth the money that they spent and they could have just taught it to themselves. Whether or not they could have done that with no knowledge, I don't really know. And I think even though I know and I've self-taught, I have multiple certifications at this point, I think that if I were to try to learn a hard skill like JavaScript or Python or some sort of coding, I would probably go to a boot camp. The reason being is I think it's intimidating. I think I'm too intimidated to go and try to figure that out myself. I think I'd rather have a person tell me what it is I need to learn, even though I know I could probably be more refined, but it's a matter of the time and curriculum and structure that I think that I would choose. But if you're just starting out, I would suggest you try to get a softer certification, and by that, not so coding heavy, and just teach it to yourself as an entry point. The reason being too is because it's cheaper. So try a low cost certification and see if you can get that, and then move on to a boot camp.
Yeah, absolutely. A word about the expense. One of the things though is, yeah, are they more expensive? Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Are they more expensive than you studying on your own, taking courses on your own? More than likely. That being said, you have to evaluate of whether or not it's a good financial choice for yourself.
Return on investment.
You have to see if it makes sense for you to spend that money, or it doesn't make sense for you to spend that money.